Hello folks, it's me, Willhouse. I'm like Millhouse, but Willhouse, and I thought I might take the time, since I've said before, I spend most of my records at work, that I show my at-work system, because it's little and cute, and I love the heck out of it. It sounds great. Starting back here, I work at a tiny little college bookstore, and here we got the, I think it's a Pioneer CS something. I can't remember, but it's a vintage two-way speaker from the 70s. It matched my old receiver that I had, so that's why I got these. But they're in really nice shape. They sound pretty great, even though they're really high efficient speakers. It's like it's like 98% efficiency or something like that. That's a necessary thing for my system. Of course, it starts out with a Pro-Ject Elemental turntable. It's their budget model, and I got it because it has a super teeny tiny little footprint, and I thought it looked really cool because it does look really cool. Just belt drive. It has an Ortofon cartridge on there. What is it? The OM5E, I believe. Yeah, OM5E. Oh, they say that this little guy here is like a high mass thing to eliminate extraneous vibrations. The motor's really quite isolated from over here, the tone arm, and it sounds really good. It's like all medium density fiberboard, like really cheap materials, but Pro-Ject has done it in such a way that like their precision manufacturing is so good. That is where the quality comes in this kind of turntable. It's basically just like a high-end Crosley kind of thing, I guess you could say, but cool looking turntable. Anyway, that goes down to over here, which is my preamp, a Bellari VP549. I got this one because it was specifically one of the few that I saw that mentioned the RIAA phonograph amplification curve. There's a specific equalization curve that you have to use for records to make them sound their best, and this one specifically says that it has that. But anyway, it has 3 different levels of cartridge load capacitance, so you can use this with a number of different cartridges and adjust that because each cartridge has an ideal setting. The rumble filter is to turn on if your motor does have some sort of rumbly effect on the audio. There's 4 decibels of gain and then 10 decibels of quietude you can use. And currently, if I set it up to the top or about halfway or so, and that's good for recording my records if I want to do that. And coming from the preamp, we go to a Bellari EQ570, which is just since this is a really low power system, and like you need high power in order to like move the low bass frequencies across any kind of bigger room, and then you need to cut the high frequencies because they move really easily at low power. Since my speakers are nice and highly efficient, they do a pretty good job when you're right up in front of them, but since they are like a good 10 feet away, they need a little bit of equalization. Bass frequencies get boosted, treble frequencies get shrunk, and then they come in here to the switching system. We got out, which is Bluetooth, and in, which is phono. This is just a pot potentiometer for volume, which usually sounds best for vinyl between here and here. Yeah, it was really loud, so I had to get this little guy just to control the volume to make it tolerable. There's a little mute button. Almost never mute it. Most of the time if someone's right by the speakers in this little bookstore, I'll just turn it down a little bit so that they don't get assaulted when they pass their ears by the speaker cones. Yeah, this guy is the Amp Camp Amp Mini. It is just like a 5-watt amplifier, designed by Nelson Pass, who's been an audiophile designer of amplification and equalization circuits for a few decades. This thing was like $125 in a kit form. It took me like a good 2 months to get it all right, but I built it myself and I'm really proud of it. And then now, after a burn-in period, it sounds really nice. It's like one of the most 3-dimensional amplifiers I've ever listened to. And yeah, that's really my system for the most part. Yeah, it's just all connected. I made this little box. It's still like a test situation. Power's down there. I do have a little bit of like isolating, RF isolating stuff there, because power supplies can they make hums. So yeah, I tried to isolate all of that. And it's currently hooked up. The preamp has a coax cable coming out and then right down into an Alesis. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's just a little mixer, and that provides the analog digital conversion so that I can record. my stuff on my laptop. Anyhow, let's see here. I'm running Audacity. Add here a new stereo track. I have it set up for recording device. Yes, that's the USB. That's my thing. And then if we take a look here, I've got it set to 96,000 hertz. 96 kilohertz. Yes. So set it for a high-res thing, and the preferences. Let's see. Import, export. Blah, 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 blah. Recording. Detect dropouts is nice. Computer will tell you if it's missing audio frames. Otherwise, just miscellaneous stuff. Quality, just best quality, slowest, whatever. I don't really know how to get dithering done for best quality, but typically not dithering is less quality as far as graphic stuff goes. So I just figured, we'll just max out whatever that is. And so far, it's been nice. You can't export anything as an MP3 at 96,000 hertz because that just doesn't match with that file format, but I believe WAV works and so on and so forth. Here, I'll pause this for a bit. I'll show you how to do this too. We got the new Mort Garson record going, and it's coming through here. Basically, you just press record and you see the waveforms coming in. Now what you got to do is set your record levels. It's the most important thing for recording records. If you're going to do this, you want nice quality. Is to look up here. Basically what you're aiming for is to have these bars never cross that little tiny zero. As soon as they get up to right up to the zero, that's when they start to clip. And old analog clipping is just cool analog distortion. Usually sounds kind of nice, but you don't want that when you're just doing a file transfer, like a reference recording. So right now my system actually seems to be putting in really good audio. It's right up there at just over -6 decibels, which is almost ideal. I'm going to try to bump it up a little bit. So over here, move that. Actually, I'll just, there we go, pinned it. So now, we're coming up a little bit higher, but just a little bit higher. I think I might actually want it a tiny bit higher than that. Oh, that's hard to do. So I have a little bit more room down here on the mixer. Boom. That's as much amplification as I can do. So, I think this is going to be one of those records that is just maxed out for input recording volume, and that's cool by me. Some of them are like that. But basically you just let your record play and go through a couple of songs. Make sure that any of the loud parts don't clip. Adjust the volume as you need to, record it, and then afterwards you can add separation marks, basically just make your tracks within these waveforms or whatnot, and then export each individual song. You can add metadata, title everything, so that your digital players know the titles of the songs and so on and so forth. It's cool. It's good times. And this is my brand new Mort Garson record. So it's the good times. Or something like it. Whatever. Ta-ta for now, little community. Be well. Stay well. Yeah, that's it.